Katt Williams just pulled off the greatest interview of all time. In terms of the interview being as big as it was, sparking up controversy, having a lot of people second guess things that they've already heard while playing defense all at the same time. And I think a lot of people miss a strategy that he used in order to conduct this interview. So I'm gonna take you to the one point or the one section of the interview where he started talking, and initially I thought, man, I know what he's using. He's a genius. So I'm gonna break that down for you. Let's get into it. So we're gonna jump straight into it. We're gonna start at 1 minute and 28 seconds, right? So the first thing that I think people missed is this certain type of conversation that you need to have. So it's something called build, break, build. And it's a strategy that we used in business when you have conversations or critical conversations with somebody about their performance, right? You build them up, you talk about things that they did well, then you break down and you break them. So where you talk about something that they need to improve on, right? So it's positive, negative, and then positive. So we're gonna get ready to go into the build, where Katt Williams starts to build up the conversation before he goes into the break. A lot of people miss this, but I didn't.
You know, anytime you come to Club Shay Shay, we have to toast.
Yes.
Bro, you've been doing it. I mean, you're one of the top tour. You're one of the top tour
Simple
comedians
as
of all
it is,
time.
this is it.
You already got started before we started taping.
I did.
Appreciate that. Tell the people at home.
I thought they was lying.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Yeah. This particular alcohol is stronger than you think it would be, probably by about 2. And unbelievably smoother and milder by the same maybe 30% than you could possibly expect. And unlike cognacs the world over, this one doesn't taste like wood at the end, and it doesn't taste like it's got artificial colors, and it doesn't taste like it's got artificial flavors. It's a fine product.
He's a connoisseur, you can tell.
All right, so Shannon's already smiling, right? So what Katt Williams did is he boosted up his confidence, and he also started with a positive about the liquor, right? So what that did is that broke down the defense that Shannon already had when they had their previous conversation before they went taping, right? He has no idea where Katt is going to go. He just knows based on the previous conversation that they had for 30 minutes before they even started taping. A lot of people miss that. That was the build before the break, right? Build, break, build. That's just what he did. I'm telling you, this guy, I'm telling you, man, he must study these interviews and know what he's doing, because that was phenomenal. Let's go ahead and skip on to the next part. So the second strategy that I feel like Katt Williams used to perfection was from The Art of War. So for those that don't know what The Art of War is, The Art of War was basically a strategic book about warfare. It stresses preparation for battle above all, including planning around the climate and battle terrain, studying the enemy's movements and weaknesses, and proper training of soldiers. So right before this started to happen, right, I was thinking, like, where is he getting ready to go? So when he started saying this, I immediately thought of these 2 quotes from the book. Quote number 1, knowing the enemy enables you to take the offensive. Knowing yourself enables you to stand on the defensive. Quote number 2, attack is the secret of defense. Defense is the planning of an attack. So you see, Katt Williams waited a year, however long it was. He sat back and watched Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, Ricky Smiley, all these other people come on this platform or other platforms, get on the radio, on shows, and talk about him or talk about certain things, right? All the while, he was just sitting back, gaining all this information and planning this here interview. I'm telling you, he planned this. Naturally, when somebody is getting ready to go into some type of defense or some type of negative wordplay, as you can say, it always is more accepted by people when it's from an area of defense, meaning all these people were saying these things about him or spreading lies in his words. So he's able to say what he's saying and people actually believe and understand what he's saying because he's taking the side of defense. That's why so many people reacted the way that they reacted, and they're calling it probably the greatest interview of all time. I'm telling you, this dude is a genius. He's a genius the way he put this together. So let's get into that clip.
I don't do it so I can sell product, and I got things to sell, so let me come talk. You have a great product here, and as a fan base, we love the attention that you spend on the guest. We love how much work you've done, how well you know them, how prepared you are. The same things that we liked about you in football. You brought that on.
So another thing, shout out to Shannon Sharpe, man. So many people are giving him like ill will. They're talking about he's not a good interviewer. He should have pushed back on all these things. Listen, when you're interviewing people, what people want to see is somebody that goes in there and they talk about things or bring up things that people have never heard before. And the only way that they're going to do that is by the interviewee or interviewer, right, feeling comfortable or making the other person, the guest, feel comfortable in order for them to talk about these things. This dude was an ex-football player, right? A Hall of Famer, a great. The man did a phenomenal job. So shout out to you, Shannon Sharpe. Like, you did a wonderful job with this interview, bro. I'm serious. You can go on later and talk about things that you could have did better. But, bro, you did what you were supposed to do. You got the people the information. You let the people decide on what they want to decide. But don't worry about what people are talking about that you could have did a better interview, bro. You did good. Half the people that are saying that couldn't have done half of what you just did when they interviewed this guy. So shout out to you, bro.
Over to here, and that's why it resonates. And the reason I had to come,
but here it comes,
is because you made a safe place for the truth to be told. You know what I mean?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I have watched all of these lowbrow comedians come here and disrespect you in your face and tell you straight up lies.
Shannon don't even know what's about to happen.
Things that have never been heard in all of Black Hollywood. They feel comfortable sitting here lying to you about it.
You gonna set the record straight?
Are you kidding me? You let Ricky Smiley sit here and you said out that mouth, you stole Friday After Next, the one I was in. I wish all of America fumbled a bit when that happened. And then he said some stuff that we haven't heard in 100 years in Hollywood. You ain't say nothing. This man.
So like that last 30 seconds is what immediately made me think about The Art of War. And the quote again was, attack is the secret of defense. Defense is the planning of an attack. So he's coming from the point of defense, defending him, defending his name, defending the disrespect. That's why he went off the way that he did. A lot of people didn't even notice that's what he was doing. That's why it made it somewhat okay what he was talking about and what he was saying. And that's why so many people are viewing this and like they're just going crazy about it. So let's just finish a little bit more of that clip.
I told you he had Katt Williams' role. He was gonna be Money Mike, and Katt Williams was gonna be the Santa Claus. Now let's 3 quick points. You mean in Hollywood they cast a 5'5" black Santa Claus that weigh 145 pounds? That's your story.
They don't.
Your story is the Ricky Smiley that couldn't even do curse words because he had a Christian fan base. He was gonna play the pimp. Why you didn't ask him why has he played a woman in more movies than he's played a man?
Well, I didn't know
he shouldn't be able. You wouldn't let us.
Shannon is like, I didn't even know. Like, bro, I didn't know. I had no idea. Like, I heard this from them first, so I'm thinking this is the truth, that they're giving me stuff that no one's ever said to me before. That's basically what he's saying.
An athlete that been on steroids talk about one of the greats. Ricky Smiley can't act because Ricky Smiley can't act. He told.
So y'all even missed that part, right? I'm telling you, Katt is a genius of how he can make what he's about to say and what he's saying make it relatable to Shannon Sharpe. He literally just said, you would not let an athlete that's on steroids come up in here and talk about one of the greats. So he puts it into Shannon Sharpe's like intellect, his way of thinking from an athlete perspective, right? That immediately dropped Shannon's guard down a little bit. Like, okay, I understand what you're saying, right? So that's why it started to go the way that it went. Let's go ahead and get back into it.
The story about when the movie came out, where did he say he watched it? At home. He wasn't even at the premiere. You telling this man, you stole that. Oh, so he could get his name in the same sentence. Wow. With a great one. It is sad. He was just that bitter when we were shooting it. He told everybody, it should have been my role. Everybody on the scene. Why do you think no cast member has ever said anything?
So see, he even said, why do you think no cast member has ever said anything about what Ricky Smiley just said? Right? So he's also coming from the side of these things that what people are talking about or saying, no one has ever said anything. No one has ever even brought this stuff up. So these are lies, right? These are lies. So it's quote unquote like justifying all the stuff that he's getting ready to say. I just thought this clip would be great for me to break down from my perspective on what I saw. If you have not watched the interview, go ahead and watch the interview. It was a crazy interview, right? People have been talking about it for forever. But this is Adam Duty. This is SOC University, The Secrets of CEOs. I just wanted to break down the first couple of minutes of the interview and how I feel like Katt Williams was a genius, how he used the art of war, how he used build, break, build, how he went about this interview from the defensive side, right? That's why a lot of people are actually on his side. I think this was just strategic. It was crazy, right? I've never seen anything like this.